Hello, everyone. This is Senior Biotech Analyst John Vandermosten. Welcome to our channel that educates the life sciences investor on exciting advancements in drugs, biologics, and devices. For more content and news like this, subscribe to our channel below and like or share with others. Thank you for joining our discussion with the CEO of Allarity Therapeutics, Jim Cullem, and Dr. Steen Knudsen, who is Allarity's Chief Scientific Officer and one of the founders of the company. Jim and Dr. Knudsen, welcome to Unboxing Biotech.
Hi, John.
It's great to be here again, John. Thanks.
Initial data from your Ixempra Phase II study in metastatic breast cancer showed a clinical benefit and impressive partial responses. However, the conclusions were drawn from only a few patients. Tell us about this ongoing trial in the EU and some of the recent changes you've made to inclusion criteria.
Yes, this trial is ongoing at hospitals in Europe. And as you said, we did an initial readout after the first 4 patients had been evaluated. And the benefit we saw in those patients was more than what you see with the drug without the DRP, and also what you see with other drugs that are available to these patients. So 4 patients is not enough to allow us to draw any conclusions, but it looks very promising at this point, and we hope that the next readout will confirm this promising readout. So we also had to make some changes to the trial design because we noticed that were fewer patients than expected that were DRP positive, that were predicted sensitive to Ixempra. And therefore we had to adjust the cutoff to bring the DRP positive rate more in line with what the expectation was and what the original design of the trial was.
Do you have any sense of how much that will open up the eligibility for patients after changing the score?
Yeah, it's going to increase the eligibility dramatically. So we expect about half of the patients will now be DRP positive going forward. And in fact, since we made that change, that looks to be the case.
Okay, well, very good. So that might mean we'll see a sooner rather than later readout from those extra patients. So Ixempra, it's a chemotherapy drug classified as a microtubule inhibitor. I think we're interested in the mechanism of action of that type of drug. How does it work?
Yes, so microtubules, they are part of the cytoskeleton, and the cytoskeleton is key in processes like cell division that tumor cells rely on. So that means that Ixempra blocks cell division, and thereby it blocks tumor growth.
Okay, very good. Succinct summary of how that works. We'll easily be able to remember that. So immunotherapy, there are a few trends in oncology, and one of them is immuno-oncology, which seems to have taken the baton from other drug classes like chemotherapy. But Ixempra is a type of chemotherapy. Why is it still relevant?
Yeah, you're right that immunotherapy has meant some dramatic changes, and it is now becoming standard in the early treatment options. It's becoming first choice for treatment of patients, but we still need something to be available after immunotherapy. It's not everyone who tolerates immunotherapy. Someone may progress on immunotherapy. They may not be positive for immunotherapy. There can be a lot of reasons. So we need more drugs in the arsenal to come in after immunotherapy. And this is where we see a good fit for Ixempra.
Okay. And one of the other trends that we've seen in the cancer space is the use of combination therapies. Is Ixempra a good candidate for being used with other drugs?
Yeah, it's already in the label in the US. It's already been combined with capecitabine in breast cancer. And we have also seen some publications that combine it with bevacizumab in ovarian cancer. We are right now focusing on monotherapy to exactly gauge the performance of the DRP for the drug, but in the future, combination therapy is a possibility.
Okay, very good. And you mentioned the DRP, Drug Response Predictor platform, or companion diagnostic, as it's also known. So how does the DRP platform play a role in selecting patients that are appropriate for Ixempra?
Yes, we've shown in retrospective analysis that the DRP can select patients that respond to Ixempra. And what we're doing now is this prospective trial where we are screening patients upfront based on a tumor biopsy. We run the DRP on the tumor biopsy, and then we determine whether or not the patient is DRP positive. And if the patient is DRP positive, then that patient is offered inclusion in the trial, but not if the patient is DRP negative. So we are now only treated those that are actually predicted to benefit from the drug.
Great. Well, thank you, Dr. Knudsen. Really appreciate you providing more detail on Ixempra and how it fits into Allarity's portfolio. Thank you.